The feeling inside Paycor Stadium has shifted, and the rest of the country is finally starting to notice what we have known all along. Something special is brewing in the Queen City, and for those of us who have lived through the lean years, this moment feels different. We are looking at a roster that might be the most complete unit this franchise has ever assembled. It is time to get excited because the window is wide open, and the world is putting their money on our boys in stripes. Joe Burrow is back at the center of the football universe, and the sports books across America are scrambling to adjust their numbers. You might have seen the initial odds for the upcoming season, but things changed drastically after the recent draft and some massive roster moves. People are putting serious cash on Cincinnati to win it all, and the value is disappearing fast. Not long ago, you could get a 30-to-1 return on a bet for this team to win the Super Bowl. Now those numbers are crashing down to 25-to-1 or even 22-to-1 at places like DraftKings. This surge in betting isn't just hype. It is a reaction to how this front office has built the deepest roster we have seen in decades. Zac Taylor is practically beaming with pride when he talks about the current state of his locker room. He recently noted that from a talent and leadership standpoint, the team is in a truly fantastic place. He is not just blowing smoke, either. The addition of a powerhouse like Dexter Lawrence on the defensive side of the ball has sent shockwaves through the AFC North. When you combine a top-tier defensive line with the return of our franchise signal caller, you have a recipe for a championship. The draft was the final piece of the puzzle, and the experts liked what they saw so much that they shifted the Bengals into the second favorite spot in the division. We are now breathing down the necks of the Baltimore Ravens. The gap is closing because this team finally has the continuity and the depth to survive the long grind of a 17-game season. It is not just about the star players anymore, although having a top-3 quarterback certainly helps. It is about the unity within the building, from ownership down to the coaching staff. Zac Taylor mentioned how united everyone is right now, and that kind of chemistry is what wins trophies in February. This isn't just about potential anymore. It is about a group of men who are hungry to finish the job they started a few years ago. We are seeing a roster that is built to win now, and the betting markets are telling us that the time to believe is today. Our city is ready. The depth of this team is what really keeps opposing coaches awake at night, because they know there are no weak links left to exploit. When you look at how the roster has been constructed, it is clear that the focus was on protecting the most valuable asset in the building. By surrounding him with more weapons and a sturdier line, the front office has ensured that this offense can dictate the pace of any game. He doesn't have to do it all by himself anymore, even though we know he is capable of magic when the lights are brightest. This version of the squad feels more balanced than the team that made the Super Bowl run a few years ago. Back then, it felt like we were living on the edge, relying on big plays and a bit of luck to pull through. Now there is a sense of calculated dominance that comes from having talent at every single position group. The locker room is filled with veterans who have played in the biggest games, and that experience is priceless when the pressure starts to mount. Think about how much more comfortable the coaches must feel knowing they have reliable backups who could start for many other teams in this league. This isn't just about one or two superstars. It is about a collective force that can wear down an opponent over 4 quarters. He can drop back with confidence knowing that his playmakers will find space, and the defense can play aggressively knowing they have the strength to stop the run. The addition of new faces during the draft only added more speed and youth to an already seasoned group. It creates a competitive environment where everyone has to be at their best just to keep their spot on the field. This internal competition is exactly what builds championship character. We are watching a team that has learned from past heartbreaks and is now using those lessons to build something sustainable. The impact on the locker room is obvious, as the players are walking with a certain swagger that only comes when you know you are part of something special. This group is ready to prove they belong at the top, we believe. What does all of this mean for the actual games on the schedule and our chances of seeing a parade in downtown Cincinnati? It means that the margin for error has grown much larger, and the path to victory has become much clearer for everyone involved. In the past, one bad bounce or one minor injury could have derailed the entire season, but this roster is built to handle the ups and downs. This could help them win more games simply because they can win in different ways now. If the passing game is having a slow start, they have the defensive front to keep the score low and give the offense time to find its rhythm. If they need to ground out a win in the cold weather of December, the added strength in the trenches will allow them to do just that. We are talking about direct consequences like securing a home playoff game at Paycor Stadium, which we know is a nightmare for any visiting team. The risk of failure is lower than it has ever been because the foundation is so solid from top to bottom. Every win in the division feels twice as important, and by closing the gap with Baltimore, the team is putting themselves in a position to control their own destiny. This matters to you as a fan because it means the games will be more fun to watch and less stressful to endure. We won't have to hold our breath on every single play, wondering if the protection will hold or if the defense can get a stop. The impact on the season is massive because a deep roster keeps everyone fresh for the stretch run when it matters most. Instead of limping into the playoffs, this group should be hitting its stride just as the weather turns cold. It is about more than just stats. It is about the simple outcome of winning football games and bringing a title to a city that has waited long enough. The confidence radiating from the coaching staff is a signal to everyone that the plan is working. This is the moment where all the hard work finally translates into results on the scoreboard. Let us look at the two very different paths this season could take, because the stakes truly could not be any higher than they are right now. In the best-case scenario, this team stays healthy and the chemistry clicks from the very first snap of the opening game. We could see a dominant run through the AFC that reminds everyone why this group was so feared just a couple of seasons ago. Imagine the excitement of a division title and a deep playoff run where the defense is suffocating opponents while the offense scores at will. That is the dream we all share, and with this roster, it is a very realistic possibility. But we also have to be honest about the tension that comes with such high expectations. If the new pieces take too long to gel, or if key players miss significant time, the pressure will build incredibly fast. We have seen how a few bad weeks can turn a promising season into a struggle, and the fans' patience is wearing thin after years of being so close to the ultimate prize. The contrast is sharp because this move to load up on talent either builds a dynasty or leads to a devastating disappointment. If it fails, people will question whether this window has permanently slammed shut. But if it works, it validates everything the front office has done to build this team the right way. The emotional tension is real because we know how much this means to the city and the players who have given their all to this franchise. Every game will feel like a high-stakes battle where the future of the team is on the line. Short sentences and quick decisions will define the season. The margin between glory and heartbreak is razor-thin in the NFL. We are standing on the edge of something historic, and the tension is what makes being a fan so thrilling. We are all waiting to see which path this team takes, but the talent is there to reach the summit. The tension is high, the stakes are higher, and the clock is ticking toward kickoff. To put it simply, the Cincinnati Bengals are no longer the underdogs that everyone overlooks. They are the heavyweights that the rest of the league is starting to fear. The betting markets are shifting, the roster is deeper than ever, and the confidence inside the building is at an all-time high. We have seen the numbers move and the experts weigh in, and it all points to one thing: a massive opportunity to make history. This team has the talent, the leadership, and the hunger to go all the way, but they still have to go out there and prove it on the grass. Be honest with yourself as a fan. Do you truly believe this is the most complete roster we have ever seen in Cincinnati? Are you ready to see this group finally lift that trophy and bring it home to us? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you love this team as much as I do, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on our journey to the top. WHO Dey! We are ready for a big year. Let us go.